All right, today we're talking about the aftermath of the LA fires. A lot of us have a lot of thoughts about it.
I was just telling Nick that like the other day we went to visit a restaurant that we liked that was close to the Altadena fires, and then me and Smack just decided to go see like what it even looked like, and we just drove through the area once, and it's like she just started crying, dude. It's hard to see.
It's heartbreaking for sure.
It doesn't look real. It just looks like you're going through like a movie set.
You didn't make a TikTok video there to capitalize on that?
I saw people do it. I saw people like you could tell who's there to just like shoot stuff for themselves. And
That's crazy.
What type of content would you shoot there?
Like a dance one?
I don't know if it didn't look like they were dancing. It just looked like they were taking photos to like have, but it didn't look like that was their house. You know what I mean? Just to be like maybe to show their friends or family or whatever.
That's so concept videos would be lit there, huh?
I did
that
see
song behind it.
But it is sad, like if you do that, if you go out there to do that, and we were trying our best to stay out of the way too, but there's so many workers that are rebuilding or cleaning up that you don't want to get in the way because these trucks take up the whole lane.
Damn.
Sometimes.
I saw a TikToker in Lahaina and they were dancing to Usher's Let It Burn, and they were dancing in front of it, and everyone was like, what's wrong with you?
Dude, the biggest anomaly is what this fool saw on the TV screen in Vegas.
Bro.
Talk about that.
Dude, I saw, well, give me a sec to pull it up and then I'll tell you about it. But anybody else want to share?
You're serious about somebody dancing to Let It Burn?
Yo, I gotta see that.
Well, speaking of people taking pictures, I talked about this on one video we did a while ago, but my buddy, his house burned down and he's there filming, like he's taking pictures of like the damage, and he sees like an older Asian couple with their kid there, and they're taking photos outside of the houses, like
I saw that.
standing and posing, and the guy is, taking a picture of his wife or whoever it is, of just the houses burnt down, and they eventually went to a neighbor whose house was still up, and he was like cleaning stuff, and she went over and like took a picture of him, and he was like confused. You could see the whole interaction, like, what do you do? And he's like, do I pose? He's kind of having a dilemma. He doesn't know what to do. But it's just like,
These tour bus
We
came
saw
down.
older Asian people there too when we went.
Yeah.
and I'm just like, dude, that's a crazy thing. That's wild.
But I kind of expect that in LA. Like LA is just such a. Everyone's just coming here to take photos of like, look at the. It's like the whole place is a tourist zone, right?
Dude, I got off the plane, right? This place called Rock and Brews, which is in the airport.
That.
Yeah, dude, they were playing the fire footage because everyone was like, this was during the fire, so this is like we're getting off the plane and it's embers in the air, all that
Live
shit.
coverage of burning
Live
mountains.
coverage of burning stuff. And they're playing higher and higher, like while the flames are going over roofs and shit.
You know the lyrics of Higher and Higher? You want to read the lyrics?
Remember what the hell was that song called again?
I think is it Steve Winwood? Higher? Is it not that one?
No, it's something else. Oh, it's fucking that St. Elmo's Fire, dude. They're playing that song is St. Elmo's Fire.
Shit.
Yeah, that was the higher and higher part while they're showing roofs on fire. That was crazy.
Oh no.
There were a lot of people that were like, that's what LA deserves because they're fucking.
Oh, a lot of people were saying that.
That's
shit
some
was so
crazy
dumb.
shit because they're like, you're Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why God's punishing you,
Self-explanatory, dumb.
dude.
But at a time like that, that's what people.
Like, why?
That's what Dave Chappelle was joking about, though, and that was really funny on the S.
Really good monologue.
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
Told you. Did I say that yesterday?
Yeah, but I was
Yeah,
reading
you should watch it,
Steve's
it's
article
good.
yesterday,
But yeah, the aftermath looks.
and I went to sleep after I jacked off.
It definitely looked like if you have a chance to even just see like how you can literally see like the path the fire just jumps, skips houses, goes here. You'll go to an area that looks like nothing touched it whatsoever. Everything's normal, but there's just a total house burned down right
Damn.
there.
Yeah, there's
And
like
it's
a couple
so
on each block. It's weird.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it skips some homes.
it skips tons of homes.
Especially a ton of businesses too, because it's like where it went down location wise. You're like, how? Well, I'm sure there were people setting fires too. Like that's. I'm sure there's.
They
people
were arrested
doing
for it.
Yeah.
A bunch of arsonists were arrested.
I think he's talking about people setting up their own house on fire.
Yo, what?
Maybe not that. I just mean like you just never know what people's intentions are.
just go
you know
with
what
the
I'm saying?
flow.
Yeah, my bad. You're right. You're right, Subi. There were people setting their
I
house
didn't
on
even think about that. That's crazy.
Think about it. Fuck, 800 a month for my whip.
What do you mean? Like, do you think
They don't want to pay for it anymore.
Damn, mortgage.
Yeah, this channel doesn't think that, but
I never even thought of that, but like
That's a wild way to solve your problem.
Didn't people still have to pay their like property taxes and mortgages? and
hella
stuff?
people didn't even have fire insurance.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that didn't.
So, like,
Think about it.
that would be one of those like oofy doofies.
That's a oofy doofy for
you
sure.
were telling me that I didn't know is for people that didn't even have any fire damage whatsoever, they could still have a totaled house.
For sure. Like we know a couple of people that live in the area and their house didn't burn down, but they have to do like $200,000 in damages just to their home because they have to throw everything out. They're so close to the ash that their house is like toxic. They have to throw their clothes away, everything within the house. So it's almost like a complete loss in a lot of ways. And they have to it's going to take months for them to come back. And their house is untouched and they have to go back in a year or something like that. That's what some people were thinking about. So it's like there's so much damage to that community where you kind of don't know what's going to happen. That's the realization, right? Because once everybody kind of forgets about it and everybody moves on, you're like the real problems are just going to start now.
That's true, yeah.
Where the repercussions of like people are trying to build and
they're on their own now. It's like, oh, no more aid. Like, good luck.
Yeah, and they just cleared out, I think, some people that lost their homes. They're at the Pasadena Convention Center, and now they're finally getting moved out today, I believe.
It's been like a month. They've been living in the convention center.
Yeah, a lot of people have, and some people.
There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah, and it was hard to find places to live in Pasadena in general, or in the surrounding areas where everyone's just displaced.
One thing that blew my mind about like how fire spread, because I was, after Lahaina happened and all that, I'm like, yeah, I get it, it's windy, right? But like, I didn't realize how aggressive the embers fly. Yeah. So when I saw the footage of Eaton and all that, and you just saw like,
looks like bullets,
fireballs, yeah.
80 miles an hour.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? No wonder. And then you can see how like it'll fly from one tree and it gets onto another tree, and then from there to the house, and I'm like, that's how.
And it seems like everyone's trying to push the blame. Well, probably is the blame on SoCal Edison. They're like going after him because they found out that Eaton Canyon.
Those 3 towers or whatever that were.
This is what started.
They didn't shut it off completely, and they were faulty. So then that was the spark that caused all the fires, right? But then you're like, man, it's sad because it's not just that too, right? Like the whole narrative of the the fire department not being staffed properly. One of my future brother-in-law was trying to put out his aunt's house, and there's like no water pressure out of the hose. The firefighter comes up to him and is like, he's like the only one on the block, and he's like, hey, you guys got to go in the house. You have to film everything. The fire's on its way. Like it's already coming, right? And it's like, we can't help you. There's nothing we can do. And this guy's like, that's his job, and he has to tell this to his family, right? And it was like, we have no water, we have nothing. So like, there's so many firefighters that just didn't have the resources.
They can't do their job.
Yeah, and it's like, it's fucked up. And now there's a ton of firefighters still there trying to help out as much as they can. Yeah, there's like a ton of like.
There's so many National Guard.
Yeah,
there's a lot of National Guard posts. Yeah,
people were out there looting like
any like street that goes up to the area, there'll be like a guard post.
Don't you guys find it odd how similar things are to the Lahaina fire?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, the coincidence are crazy, right?
Yeah.
So both the mayors were gone at the same time. Both started with the spark from a wire.
Yeah.
And then both, because of the wind conditions, it spreads.
They also ran out of water too, right?
Yeah.
That's a big one. It's like, how did they both run out of water?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Both poorly managed as hell.
yeah.
Like if there's winds coming, then they should know. Turn off the power.
And that's what the mandate was supposed to be, right? And then
Who's not doing that?
Exactly. Like that's why it's a big question mark, because Monrovia shut their power off. All the neighboring cities did.
Azusa.
Class action lawsuit stuff right now for Altadena specifically.
Absolutely.
Wow. I'm getting the ads. Are you guys?
Yeah, I'm getting tons
The
of
Eaton
ads.
Fire, all those ads, they're popping up on my
I
Instagram.
saw 'em,
Yeah.
So everyone's hopping on board to get the damages recovered, right? Because it's, dude, like you drive through these houses that have been there for so long, and that are beautiful homes, like they're multi-million-dollar homes in certain areas, and they're just all gone. And then even like with the lower income areas, like those are fucking toasted.
Yeah.
You're like, what are these people gonna do? Like
There's whole plazas, like strip mall things that were just obliterated
a
too.
ton of shopping centers, and the fire got pretty low to the point where,
Dude, yeah.
it just couldn't be stopped.
Let me ask you guys this though. Did you guys feel invincible with LA before this? Because every year, Monrovia or like parts of the Palace, like not Palisades, but Malibu, the hills.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Every summer, it burns.
We're used to seeing fire in the mountains. Like
Or,
it's not
Riverside,
yeah.
San Bernardino. Like, and then there are some mountain neighborhoods that do. And then there was that one year where there was that Central California town. It got leveled. Remember? Was it 2020 or something like that? I forgot the name of the town. But like, it almost feels like, oh, that's like the mountain people, not us.
Yeah.
And then this shit happens, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't know it was so out of control.
And the big thing that I felt afterwards is like, oh, the city government really doesn't have our back as much as I thought they did, and it was already low. The standard was very low, and you see this happening, you're like, oh, they really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that happened too was I think all the 25 deaths in the Eden Canyon fire were all in one area, and it was the area apparently where, a lot of people got text messages of like, hey, you need to evacuate, fire warning, blah blah blah. But all the people that didn't get that, there was an outage in one small little pocket of Pasadena. They all died. That's where all the deaths.
Oh
No.
So like, I wonder what's gonna happen with that.
The people that died were the specific ones that didn't get the
didn't
memo.
Where did where's that information like?
There was a bunch of news outlets that reported
That's
it.
crazy because
Yeah.
people were saying that no, they died because they refused to evacuate. I heard that shit. I was like, what?
Yeah, because some people
It ain't the same thing. It's not the guy during the hurricane in a boat, dude. This is a totally different thing.
That's so crazy that happened.
Because there was a friend of a friend. He has a famous story, and he was taking care of his brother, who has cerebral palsy, and then his father, who was I think a diabetic or amputee.
So they couldn't leave.
They couldn't leave. He so happened to be he takes care of him. He so happened to have an injury of his own. Was in the hospital that night. And then that's when the fires happened, right? And this is a close friend to one of our members at the gym. And this is a story that kind of went national and went viral, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like, dude, you hear that and you're like, oh my God. Like some people just didn't.
That sucks, dude.
Right? And then, I don't know. There's so much to unpack from all this.
Yeah.
And and unfortunately, it's all the people that live there that are going to have to deal with all of it.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's no help.
Palisades is gone.
Crazy.
It still just blows my mind, like when I think about that.
Yeah, and you think like the rationale is like, oh, this is a really rich, exclusive area. There's no way they're gonna let that burn, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're like, they're safe.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, this will never happen.
This management can affect them too.
Exactly, and it's like,
Terrible,
dude.
It's terrible.
Even though they're paying like
giant
exponentially more in taxes
Yeah.
than like a small town.
I saw something really weird about like the rebuilding of the Palisades, but it needing to be like, I guess, more diverse.
You mean ethnically? Oh.
I saw them talking about environmental standards or something for it too. Like I think I saw what you're talking about, and then they also talked about we have to prepare the area for climate change stuff. So that's what Gavin Newsom just was talking about.
You mean like just racially, people that live there that way?
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Gavin Newsom was talking about it.
So this is the story that I was talking about. This is, I don't know.
The cerebral palsy thing?
No, this is just 17 of the 25 that died were in an area where there were.
Oh, that's horrible,
It
dude.
was too late for people, to leave.
Oh my god.
You know, that was
17.
what was kind of like
17?
not scary, but it was like, should we leave? Is like, remember when we kept getting the emergency things?
Yeah.
And then it was like, should we go, guys? Like, what the fuck? And then it was like, it's a false call.
Yeah. I promised Nikki too. I was like, if we get an alert, I'll leave. I promise. Me and Anthony will just drive back, and then it kept on being false alarms.
Well, also though, like, we were. Let's be honest. Like, we got our alert, and even before it was a false alarm, we were like, we looked outside.
Yeah.
We thought about where we are geographically.
Yeah, we could see it all on the map.
Yeah, we're like, you know what? We're gonna film. We all flew in here. We all drove in here. Like, we're just gonna film, and we'll see what happens. And then, like, very shortly later, it was false alarm. But at the same time, for anybody, there are some people that didn't get alerts, looked outside, was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. Grab your shit. Let's get out.
Yeah.
So, you got to do your best with a shitty situation.
You guys know that song? Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno!
What about
know that?
it? Yeah, I know.
It's actually because people were discoing and it burnt down.
Oh, really?
Shut the.
It's based
No
on like a real
shit.
disaster.
It's really something. I was in shock.
Made music about a disaster.
Yeah.
People made art from tragedy?
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah, thank you.
the
People dance to that art. That was weird.
That's pretty weird.
They made a song.
They
They were-
were called Disco
It-
Inferno.
They were fucking dancing and it caught on fire and all these people got trapped in the disco and they fucking burnt down.
Jesus.
And it's like a party song. And this whole time I didn't even know, and then you fucking find out the history of it and you're like, oh my god, that's crazy.
It's a fire song.
Yo, imagine if we had, and you know all those mobile detailers, they have the.
They have water in their fucking vans.
The song was originally recorded by the Champs in 1976 and released as a single. It was inspired by the 1974 blockbuster film, The Towering Inferno,
Why do I fucking do that?
in which a party in the top floor ballroom was
fact checking
by a
now?
fire that breaks out
Community
below.
note. Community note.
Who's this cop?
Hey, gotta community note that
Community
shit.
noted.
Dude.
Crazy.
What do you got, Subi?
Joe, man, you're making us look bad, man. You need your fact check.
Wait, you're talking about the auto detailers that have water?
No, so imagine
Pressure washers, bro.
the pressure washers. Imagine
Yeah.
those guys all said, everyone who auto details who have a fucking gallon of water in your fucking truck, meet up at this spot. So imagine you had
Huge traffic jam. That's smart. Yeah, well, people
cancel that fucking plan.
That's really smart.
Hey, you know what I saw though a lot
man.
while the,
Jesus.
while the news was covering all the fucking fires, they would be interviewing these people trying to pour water on their fucking house, right? And they're just like, they're just trying to ask all these questions, and I'm like, yo, on morality wise, you guys better
How that feels, bro.
you better keep one guy on staff to like help, you know, like don't just stand there and just film and watch them as their fucking house burns down.
No, that's
You know.
the fucking news, man.
Yeah, for sure, but at least help, you know, like
fuck, you
there
know-
should be one guy to help.
No, they're like, oh, that's that one movie, The Watchmen or something. They don't give a fuck.
Nightcrawler.
They-
Nightcrawler Watchman.
And to watch. And to watch.
Yo, but check this out. We gotta alert. We gotta alert West Hollywood. You need to evacuate. Blah 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 blah. And I was just like looking outside. I'm like, why the fuck do we need to evacuate? Look at all these apartments around here. You know what I'm saying? So to make sure everyone around me was evacuating, causing a havoc, and I was just like, fuck this. I'm going straight towards the fire because I want to see how fucking.
Oh yeah, when you became a rescuer.
I was like, how important is this fire? So I went straight towards the fire. Just to find out.
Damn, dude.
You went up in
Ghost
it.
Rider.
For real.
Dude,
We need you in Altadena, my boy.
I knew-
That was entertaining though. I was watching your
Yeah, his
live shit. I
story,
was
yeah.
like, wow.
You were live streaming the fire?
I was live stream. I was just like, yo, I'm here right now, boss.
He was live updating him,
Yeah.
helping people.
It's like helping
and-
people
yeah.
and shit. Yeah.
But at the same, dude, but like I looked at the fire and I was just like, okay, that's where the mountain is. The wind's blowing that way. The ember's not even going towards the building.
Right.
And then I looked up again and there was like 4 fucking choppers doing their cycle. And I was just like, oh, we good, man. We chilling.
And you were historically wrong. That was a crazy fire. Those 4 choppers probably didn't do much. That burned down.
The Hollywood fire. I'm talking about, bro. I'm talking
They're
about Hollywood
impervious
fire.
to fire.
Hollywood fire.
The one that was happening on Runyon.
Wasn't that bad? It
Only
was.
one apartment building that ever burned down.
Yeah.
Google.
Oh, wait.
In the
Check, 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 check.
city.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, Towering Inferno, 1976.
Fact check.